Well, looks like it's time to go, so let's go. Hello! How is everybody doing? I've got a couple of different commissions we're working on tonight, and then I have a couple of ideas for dice, but I don't know that I'll actually end up doing both of those ideas. We'll see. We'll see how much resin I end up having left over after the commission stuff. But I do have a couple things I need to get ready to go before we actually get to resin. First up, I'm gonna add some little pins to the top of these mushroom necklaces so that they have time to dry before I add a little bit of resin. Hi, Jen! How are you doing? Glad you could make it. Oh, I'm still debating. I mean, it sounds like most folks think I should just hold off on the shop update. But man, happiness. Oh, that'd be nice. Off before 7. So you don't have to listen while you're driving home. I think it's very exciting though. Ah, there we go. I wish to see Liz for self-care. Well, I'm glad that you could come and hang out. I know that the change on the Saturday time messed with your schedule a little bit, but I won't be able to like play board games with my friends. So it's staying at noon. Alright. Got those all glued. Doing a little bit of Elmer's glue to tack these in place, and then we're gonna add resin over the top, but let's make sure these are in the right spot so they can dry and not completely falling over like this one seems to be trying to do. Alright, once I have those, I can go over kind of the plan for tonight. So I've got a couple of different commissions, like I was saying. I have a set of fate dice that are gonna have a whole bunch of little skulls in them. I made a whole bunch of skulls. This is pretty much what I did yesterday, was made a bunch of skulls. Put it around so you can kind of see. But yes, lots of little tiny skulls. Man, you know, like, oh, thanks, Drebo. Dreb? Zero? Dreb. Not sure which one it is, but thanks. Oh man, making things at this scale is not easy. Once it starts getting like super small. Oh, okay, cool. Cool. How are you doing? But yes, so I'm doing a set of fate dice with skulls. Tiny skull! Hey! That's a really cute name, Helena Handbasket. Wow, there's all sorts of people here tonight. Hi, Fabby G. It's going good. How are you doing? I'm just going over kind of the plan for tonight. So, skull dice, fate dice with skulls in them, and then I've got some commission ones that I've been working on over here. I've been kind of working on these one die at a time a little bit, because they're all different. So I made this die a while back that has like handmade bird skull in it. Let's see if I can get it to focus. It's kind of hard to D20s. It's always kind of hard to see. You changed it. That's fair. That's fair. But basically, like, the flowers all kind of floated to the surface. It kind of ended up like kind of busy. Not a lot of the black ink swirl that we were trying to get in there. So we're doing that again. I made another little bird skull. Yesterday was my day of making lots and lots of skulls out of polymer clay. Because I made the bird skull, I made all the other skulls. We're going to do something kind of similar to this, but make the gold flakes a little bit smaller pieces. Make so that the flowers are just coming out of like one of the eye sockets maybe, so that they're not all floating all over the place. And then try to add a little bit more of that black smoke. just to kind of balance everything. So that's the plan for that D20. I think you can probably figure out why I'm redoing this die, because you can't see anything. It just turned out way too dark. So we're going to change the design a little bit and do a kind of half and half with kind of a wispy in between with the really, this is a really, really dark purple. Yeah, I know, it just ended up way too dark, which, well, like, to be fair, if I hold it up to the light, you can kind of see the purple color. But also, we got some stuff that we're gonna, some new stuff. Oh yeah, like, you could definitely do something interesting with it. It's just not what we were going for the commission. So we're gonna, these will go into my box of miscellaneous dice. I have a box of just spare dice that are things from random commissions, just singles that I've poured, I don't know, just, yeah, all sorts of random things, like from sets that didn't turn out completely, so I just threw them in here. And I use these for either putting together mismatched sets, which can be kind of fun, or if people order the raw mystery set on my in my shop. Oh, what was that? Oh, thanks for following, Andy Marie. So they'll end up in here, but I have them out for the moment because I want to use them as sort of a reference, and also because with commissions you get up to like 2 free repours, and then you get your choice of which die you like, which set you want out of that. So I figure it's good to keep them out and about, so I know how many repours I've done, and in case someone likes the earlier pour better. But yes, this is way too dark, and it's supposed to have like a little moon in it that you can barely even see. But we've got some new things some new little moons to try out. I'll use those ones right there. And we're also going to use those in the other D10. Moons! So, I've already done 2 pours of this other one. The first one, it has a feather in there. It's just kind of hard to see. So really all you ended up with was this moon here. And then the next one was a little bit better. It has kind of feathers in there. You can't really see, it's kind of subtle. But we also added some foil, which just gives it a little bit more interesting. Hey, I'm all for it. I like the macabre. I am a goth at heart. But no, I just have something on there. But yeah, so it was a little bit of foil. But the reason we ended up with these is because we decided that the holographicness of the moon just didn't really, match. It's kind of just, you can kind of see it. So we're going with a solid gold color. Same thing with the D2. Also, the moon, my wife. Also, the person wanted it a little bit more red. It's a little bit too purpley, a little too fuchsia. And actually, looking back, the first die that I did was a lot more red, and I can see. Sorry, I'm holding it up to the light right above me. It's kind of hard to show, but the original one was a lot more red than the second one. So we're gonna redo basically the same design, just with the new moon and a slightly more red color for the D10, and then the D2, we're going with basically the same design again, but with the new moon and the more red color. So it should be fairly straightforward. It's kind of doing the same things, just like slight tweaks. And also I need to do a keychain. I made a keychain, but I did not like it. It turned out way too dark. So we're gonna make a new one. I think I'm gonna have it match kind of the D2. That's the plan anyway. That's the plan. We'll see what happens. But yeah, got the little tiny bird skull. I'm thinking I'm going to want to. So could go off. You know, this is making a lot of sense now with Jen being Soka. Yeah, so I'm thinking I'm gonna want to cover the moon, the moons for all of these in a little bit of. Oh, hi Omar, how you doing? A little bit of UV resin to protect them. These are metal. Yeah, these are metal. So like I'm not worried about them getting hurt if they're on the outside of the dice, but they'd still maybe cause a problem for sanding, so I just want to put a little bit of UV resin on them so that they're not right against the side of the mold. Yeah, so we're gonna need bonk. And so I think we're gonna use 3 of these, 1 in each die. Both D10s and the D2. There's some little tiny stars here too. I'm kind of debating using some of those. They're so small. Let's see if I can even show these to you. These are meant for nail art. Oh, if I can even flip it over the right direction. Let's see if I can show you this. Oh, you see that star right there? You see it? See that? You see that speck? Yeah. So I'm wondering if I want to use some of these like little tiny stars in maybe like the D2. I don't know about the D10 and stuff because they all sink to the bottom, but in the D2 I feel like they're kind of going to be on the bottom anyways, so that might turn out kind of cute. There's some slightly larger ones too, so I'm going to grab a couple of stars and I think throw those in as well because I think those will be cute on the D2. So there's. It's a star seed. Yeah, you plant that and you get a full-blown star. I wish. That'd be cool. Oh, I might want one of these for this as well. That might be kind of cool. Doing in the keychain that I'm making. Yes, for planted in a star will grow. Yes. For commissions, since this is a commission, I usually send along an extra die and a keychain. So I'm debating trying a different moon in the keychain just because I think that would be fun. But those are just kind of little bonus things that I like to do. So I'm gonna grab out a different kind of moon for the keychain just because I think that's fun. And I want to try one of the other ones. So cool. I think we've got all of our things set out for that. I was actually, yeah, I was going to do a crystal shape one, unless you have a preference. I could do a sphere or something flatter, but here's the kind of crystal shape here. But yes, my plan was to put a little tiny skull in it. Just put a little skull in it. Okay. I don't want to lose those. I have them kind of stacked up over here. The other thing for these dice over here, the ones that I was just looking at, is they also have they're gonna have some feathers, which I'm gonna need to get figured out, cut them down to the right size for the specific things, and then the D20 and one of the D10s. Which D10 is it? That's why I have these out really, so I make sure I do the correct ones. The percentile die are gonna have some nightshade flowers in them. That's why I have 2 here, so I can figure out what I'm using here. I don't know if it matters too much. I'm not like eating it, but I'm gonna put gloves on for dealing with poisonous plants. It probably is not a big deal, but better safe than sorry. Bye! Is the incantation that you need to drive home? Alright. So, for the D20, so there's a little flower on here. It might blend in with my glove a little bit. You can see it on the end there. I'm wondering if I'm going to end up kind of gluing some things together a little bit to get them into the shape that I want for the D20. Because I want some of the greenery here. I want some of the leaves, but I also want some of the flowers. So I'm wondering if I'm going to end up kind of piecing things together. Oh yes, the incantation. I like how it works in chat too. To call your name 3 times in chat. And you also show up. Yeah, that seems about right. Just so everybody knows, I have very strange commands on my channel. So if you want to get into cardboard tube battles, that is a thing. And one of the other commands that I have is just ! glitter. So if you want to try that out, you can. But I have like no useful commands. Alright, let's see here. So I want some greenery. Oh, this one. That's kind of nice. Yeah, you just type in ! Yeah, there you go. Throws glitter in the air dramatically. It is actually, yay! That was something I was actually going to ask you. On the skull dice, do you want any sort of like shimmer to it or anything? Or just clear resin with the translucent black and red? Yeah, ! joke doesn't cause any commands. It just makes Omar show up and say bad jokes. Don't worry, I'll sweep after the stream is over. I'll sweep the glitter up after the stream is over. It doesn't help much. I mostly just spread it around, but you know, makes everything shiny. But yes. Do shimmer, it'll be harder to see the skulls. That's fair, that's fair. I don't think it'd be too big of an issue. I've done ones with a little bit of shimmer before. I don't know if I have an example here. But yeah, if you're concerned about that, then we don't need to do it. Let's see here. I'm trying to find shiny. Yeah, I think it's doable if you want it. We could do a little bit of like a gold shimmer or a little bit of just a white shimmer. Either of those I think would be doable. I've done some dice before that were black. I did some fake dice before that were black and red and then had some gold shimmer, and it was really pretty. That was what I was kind of thinking of, but it's not necessary if you don't want it. Okay, so I need to figure out what's going to come out of this skull. Yeah, tiny skulls. Little skulls. Little tiny skulls. Yeah, I was planning on doing the inky smoke thing. I have a red here that I thought would be good. It's kind of a... here, I can show you the colors that I had planned. I have my paint chips over here. They're not actually paint chips, but I call them paint chips. This is all of my different colorants. I have little test chips for them. I can show you the colors that I had planned. Here's the red I was looking at. Nice bright red. And then I was gonna do where's that black? Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Wow, I can't even find the black. Here it is. Here's the black. You'd think that they're all the same. This one's kind of a cooler black color though. Oh, perfect. Yes, and then this is the black. You can kind of see through it a little bit. It's kind of a cooler black tone. It looks almost more blue on screen, but I swear it is black. My camera makes everything look blue. But yeah, that was the plan, was to do a little bit of these two with the skulls. Ooh, sorry, this might be a little bit loud as I clank these all back in. Yeah, I think the shimmer would work. I do it very subtle. Very subtle shimmer. Like, yeah. But again, if you're worried about it, then okay. And you know what? If you end up not liking it, you get 2 free repours, so we can always just make another set. That'll be fine. Little blue. My cameras make me look little blue. Okay, cool. I'm gonna pull out my sparkle gold here. And we're gonna add just the barest amount of this, like the barest amount, and just give it a little bit of a shine to it. Okay, back to Nightshade. So I need to figure out what flowers I want to be coming out of this eye socket here. So the goal here was to make it kind of look like it was charred a little bit. You can kind of see there. Kind of try to make it look like it's a little charred almost. The other side's not. Wow, it's washed out so much. It's the blue gloves. So I want some kind of coming up out of that eye socket. I like this. This one has... True. But I do price accordingly. You know. Let's see here. To be fair though, if I end up having to make more skulls, then I also get a cool set of fate dice that have skulls in them. So, you know, it's a win-win. It takes more time, but then also, you know, more dice with skulls. Let's see here. Oh, this one has kind of a good... This one has berries. This one doesn't really have any flowers. That one has berries. But yeah, I am thinking I might end up kind of gluing a couple of things together. So I kind of like this. It's more of like a bird. It's supposed to be more of like a bird skull, I think. Although it's the character art that I'm basing it off of. I think they're wearing, I don't know if they're a Kenku, if they're wearing a plague doctor mask. It might be both. So it kind of trying to keep the shape of a plague doctor mask, but also do a bird skull. Let's see here. Just trying to figure out. Okay, I think maybe I'm going to grab this. So that has a little bit of a stem to it, a stalk to it. Oh, tiefling wearing a plague doctor mask and has bird themes. Oh, okay, cool. Wasn't sure if they were a Kenku or not. So I've got that, and then I want some, like at least a flower to go with it. And I have this one that's also on a little bit of a stalk here. And so I think I could, tiefling? That's how I've always said it. I don't know, I don't know. Oh, that's fair, that's fair. Yeah, I don't know, I've always said it tiefling. But, you know, I guess, who knows? I guess that's just the way that I've heard other people, that's just how I've heard other people pronounce it. We could all just be wrong. Alright, so I've got these. And then I think maybe I'd like one more flower, maybe, that I might end up kind of gluing in place. So I think that'll be good. We've got kind of the leaf. Do I even need, I don't know if I even need a second flower here, because I have kind of the greenery and then a flower that are going to be coming out of this eye. Let me kind of set them here so you can kind of see what I'm picturing. If I can pick them up. Also, I got these tweezers came with these little charms. So now I have a set of tweezers. Let me go back to these though. I'm used to this set. Also, these ones are already covered in resin, because everything here gets covered in resin, if you couldn't tell. Tiefling? Oh. Oh, don't take anything that Not Name Brand says seriously. Yeah, don't yeah. Believe me. Let's see if I can. Well, it's not gonna be quite like that, but kind of. Well, just a second. Let me see if I can flip this around so you can kind of see what I'm trying to do. It's kind of hard to see what I'm trying to do. But yeah, kind of have them coming out of the eye stalk there. Hopefully they'll kind of float up a little bit more in the dye. But I think I might be okay with just the leaf and the single flower. Because I think I'm going to need the flowers, honestly, for the other D10. Because that is the problem with doing repours for sets where there's things that were ordered for them is like this. Is like, oh man, I need to make sure that I have enough of everything. Although if I need to get more, I'll order more. That's That's kind of my policy, I feel like, is if someone orders something for their set of dice like this, and then I end up having to do a repour and I don't have enough, I'll order the next set. Okay, so I think that'll be good, because I like how both of those are kind of on the stock. They'll kind of stick up nicely. And then we're going to have some gold foil and some black smoke in that. We'll use the same kind of black ink that I was talking about for the skull dice. The first D10, that's this one. So that's going to be, yeah, that one's going to have some of these flowers as well. Let's see. White shimmer. Okay, we can do that. I will grab out my sparkle. Cool. That is the nice thing about streaming, and the people who are getting the dice being able to watch and give input. Is just like you can we can make changes on the fly. Okay, so some flowers for this one. I don't know. I think maybe we could just do the flowers, because we're gonna do the flowers and a little bit of like feather fluff as well. So I think we could just add a few of these flowers, and we can call that probably good on this one. Should I add a little bit of leafage? Oh, fair, yeah. Ah! That had to happen at least once. But hey, at least it was a poisonous plant and not glitter. You know. Tieflings are very distracting. I mean, you make a good point there. Alright, let me get this cleaned up. Oh. That is true, though. You have responded to all of my messages very, very quickly. But, you know, it's easier if it's, like, immediate to just, like, go back and forth on things. Let's get a whole bunch of nightshade dust in the air. That seems like a good plan. Okay. Now that I'm done being sarcastic there, I'll just add a little bit of flowers to that, because that's going to be the one that's kind of half really dark purple with a little bit of feather fluff and then some of the flowers and the moon. So I think we don't actually want too much of the flowers there, because, you know, we're not going to see them in the dark purple anyways. You get phone notifications, you were constantly on your phone. I can't talk, I have my phone right here. Put those off to the side before I spill them all over the place again. I think we have all the pieces that we need now for that. Feathers. And I'm just gonna take these off for a second. Yeah, that's what I did too. I also have like Etsy seller on my phone, and I get notifications if people message or leave reviews or favorite things in my shop. So it just pops up for me. Okay. Move these off to the side for now. Feather fluff. Close your shop. I'm planning on moving mine. I'm gonna make my own site, I think. There's just a lot of little things that, like, Etsy's been doing. It's just like, don't know about that. Don't know about that. So I'm gonna go try something else. Okay, so I need some feather fluff for both D10s. What did you sell on Etsy? Didn't realize you were also selling stuff on Etsy at one point. That's very exciting. Let me find. I have all sorts of used mixing cups over here, because I don't clean up after myself. I just throw my mixing cups over here. Oh, that would make sense, yeah. That might as well. Man, to be fair, I had an Etsy shop for a couple years before I started actually, like, using it. Because, let's see, I think, selling quilts. Oh, okay. Yeah. I saw some photos of one that you sent me. It was really pretty. was gonna say cool, but I feel like pretty is a better descriptor. It is also cool, but it was just pretty. No, let's see. I had an Etsy shop. It says that I've been on Etsy since 2018, but that's kind of a lie. I mean, I just had like soap in my shop and didn't really sell any. But I wasn't like really trying to. I didn't do any like marketing or anything. I sold some soap at like a local bazaar and stuff. And so I'm just like, well, I'll put all my extra on Etsy. If there's any extra and stuff. That's not gonna work. I'm just gonna grab new mixing cups because I don't wanna have to deal with that. Oh, although there's one here. Nah, I'm just gonna grab new clean mixing cups. But the resin stuff has been going much better for me than the soap stuff ever did, so hey, it works out. Alright, so both D10s are going to need some feather fluff. So let's get that. And I don't think I need too much, to be honest. Didn't try either, then he went back to work full time, didn't have time for anything. Yeah, that's fair. No, let's see, yeah. I have my whole story about how I ended up here, because I was working full time and going to school part time for a couple of years, and oh man, I did not have time for anything. It's just like, so I get you. And let's get a little bit of fluff. Okay. I think I'm gonna kind of try and place these in the dark purple D10, so they're kind of coming up out of that dark purple. And then the more wine red D10 that are going to be all mixed in. I'm using this feather up first because it's actually got quite a bit of resin on it, so it's all like stuck together already, which will work out pretty well for this. But yeah, I don't know, I've definitely been putting a lot more time and effort into the resin stuff than I ever did with my soap. I enjoyed making soap. I still enjoy making soap. Oh, I should take photos of that and put that in my shop with this restock, actually. Because it's a really full schedule. Oh man, I bet. Yeah, I don't have any kids, thank goodness. That would take a lot of time, I'm sure. I just have cats. The other night, I was having a weekly board game night with a couple of friends. Just so everyone knows, like, they all live together, and we live, like, me and my brother live together, very small group. But we met up for dinner and board games, and we were talking about, like, what everybody's, like, kind of thing was, because I can't remember what it was. Oh, because one of the folks there didn't really know. You weren't invited? Sorry, I will be sure to invite you all the way from Illinois next time. But one of the friends, like, didn't really know the other group of friends all that much, and then they've kind of gotten to know each other through this board game night. And so it's funny when we play games, we kind of have to know everybody, because it's just like her thing is like writing and dragons and tree houses. Like, if someone has to do something that's about her, it's always about, like, dragons or writing. Or, like, yeah, that sort of stuff. And we're like, okay, but what is everybody else's thing? And I think mine was arts and crafts and cats. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty fair, actually. That's pretty fair. Okay, we do need a feather for this D2. So the way I'm going to do that is kind of how I ended up with this here. I'm going to cut this down to size. So where's my little scissors? Oh, there they are. So I need something that is. I do have cats everywhere. It's true. Believe me, I'm sure at some point in this stream I will go, man, why is there cat hair in my resin? Because that's just a requirement of my streams, it seems. Trying to get it the right length there. A couple of more strands I can go put in the D10. Yeah, I have 4 cats. I have 4 cats. For some reason, Fitz, who's the oldest cat, my cats are backwards. I feel like I should start with that. My cats are backwards. My kitten, the kitten, she's not a year old yet. She is probably the chillest cat out of the lot, maybe. Maybe Koshek is, but she's just a very chill cat. She wants to just come hang out in the same room as you and like chill. She's one of the few cats that I will let into this room. Not while I'm doing like resin or stuff that's dangerous for the kitties, but I will. She'll just, if I'm doing mold making or something, she'll just go lay on the chair at the table behind me. The other cats want to be all up in my business. And that's the kitten. And then our oldest cat is Fitz, and he has way too much energy. He is like the friendliest cat, but also, I don't know what it is. He just like gets bored super easy or something and decides that he needs to go terrorize the other cats. Like Reese, I don't know what it, I think maybe he plays too hard. He's just that kind of, I mean, that was me as a kid, to be fair. It's just like, man, I just pick cats in solidarity, I guess. But man, he just terrorizes the other cats, and they're like, I do not want to play with you. He's like, we're playing, right? It's like, dude, get a, you need to learn some cat body language, buddy. He's a funny cat, though. He's so friendly. He's just like so friendly and just does not know how to get it, like, get a hint if someone doesn't want him around. I don't know, he's kind of a funny cat. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, my cats being opposites. The kitten is super chill and will just hang out, and my oldest cat he has way too much energy for his own good. It's just kind of funny. You usually think of like the kitten as being the one that's gonna have all of the energy. But no, it's my oldest cat. The kitten's the chillest. We'll see if one comes and meows at the door. That happens every once in a while, and then we can say hi. As long as we're not working with the resin yet. Okay, cool. So I think that's about the right size. So I've kind of got that cut down to size. There's a feather for that. He's a friendly bully. Yeah. It's like he just doesn't know when to stop. It's like, oh dude, this isn't how you make friends, buddy. Okay, let's cut this one down to size 2 actually. I think because I'm thinking maybe it might be fun to have a feather in the keychain. I want to make sure it's not too tall though. Use a D2 for. I mean, it's really just for a coin flip. I've never actually used one in a game. In my case, for when I'm making them, I'm using it as a way to get my logo out there. To be honest, like, it's just a great place to put a logo, and just kind of a fun little extra thing to send along. But yeah, it's just for a coin flip. If you need to have like a 50-50 chance on something, you have it. But I don't know, they seem fairly popular with like handmade dice makers and stuff. I think probably because it's an easy spot to put your logo. I'm getting so much fluff everywhere. But I think that turned out kind of good. Got a feather there. So we can put that into this one. Huh. Yeah, I don't need as much, yeah. Woo! Oh no! I don't know if you could see that plume of dark fluff that just came flying up as I breathed in the general direction of my table. Ah! Oh no! I'm not even gonna get cat hair in the resin this time. I'm just gonna get feather fluff. There's so much. I'm gonna try and put it with the No, no. I'm knocking things over here. Yeah, that's gonna be plenty of that. I might not even use all of that. Okay, I think I've got the feathers. Let me make sure I have everything. Ah, use that for dress. You don't have fancy D2s though. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. I feel like the fancy D2s are something that, you know, are just kind of fun. But if you're playing a game and you need to flip a coin, you might as well do it in style. Okay. Let me make sure I have my notes here in my calendar. This is my calendar. You can see. I like to do fun designs. Oh wait, I'm really proud of this one. Do you like my boxes? My moving boxes? Okay. So let's see, D20, flowers and leaves. We're gonna need the gold foil, and we're gonna need the gold and copper foil. Oh! Leftovers from steel cutting. That's cool. Yeah, I don't know I can't think of what that would be called. My brother would probably know. He knows a lot about steel because he's done some bladesmithing in the past. Yeah, I don't know what that's called. So I'm gonna make sure I have everything here. Some gold flake for the D20. Okay. The moon, flowers, feathers, gold copper foil. Oh yeah, I didn't think you were saying anything against them. It's just like, I don't know, I think they're fun. Feather, foil, moon, more red. I have a note here that just says more red because I want it to be redder than it was before. Moon, feather. Okay, I think we've got everything we need for those. I'm gonna put them into the various. Let me get. I'm debating. Yeah, no, I can't think of what the word is for the cutouts either. Yeah, I have no idea. I feel like that's a word that I should know, and I can't think of what it is. Okay, so for the percentile die here is gonna have the purple. Do I want to put the metal flakes in both the purple and the clear, or just in one of them? Because I feel like it could be cool if I did it in just in one of them. Maybe in the dark purple, and then it'll kind of end up in the clear a little bit with the kind of wispiness. But at the same time, then there's not as much going on in the clear as there is in the purple. I'm kind of leaning towards maybe doing the dark purple as solid and then doing the clear with some of the foil in it and the flowers. I feel like that might be kind of cool. So let's gold copper foil. Okay, I think we're gonna try and do that. So there's gonna be there's that. Oh, thanks for following. Dreb/Drebo. Just do the clear. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I think it'll make the moon stand out more in the dark purple because I was planning on putting it on that side. So I'm just going to do the foil in the clear with the flowers, and then we will do the dark purple without. Yeah. Just for that contrast. Let's get a little bit of foil. I don't think I need that. I think this is a larger piece than I think it is. Okay, and I want some more of the gold actually. Let me put that copperish color back. Actually, I want this lighter copper color. That's only going to be half a die, so it's not going to be very much. We reached the same conclusion. Oh no! Happy to have you lurk. Hope you're having a nice relaxing time. Ooh, you're inking a set of dice. Do you make dice? Here, I feel like this is a good moment to Here, there's always like a little bit of space, I feel like, in between the stream and like, there's some latency. That's the word I was looking for, latency. Okay, I'm gonna put that in the chat, and I put that there because I always want to see what people are working on and their art projects and stuff, so please feel free to post photos. Oh, reinking a set you forgot you'd buy. Fair, fair. I'd still be down for seeing photos though. So no pressure to join that Discord, but if you want to send photos of projects that you're working on and stuff, you know, that's an easy way to do it. Okay, that does not need very much foil at all, because it's also gonna have the feather fluff and stuff too. I'm just gonna stack those for now, and then we're also gonna have our dark purple, which is just gonna be that. Cool. I've got all of my little cups for that. The other D10 is gonna be this feather fluff, and then a little tiny bit of, was it just gold foil? I just have marked down foil, so I think we're gonna do a mix, but not very much. We decided we wanted a little bit less than last time, so there and there, just a little bit of foil. And then it has a moon over here. The D2. Okay, the D2 is actually going to be kind of a subtle ombre. This is kind of a subtle ombre, from like a darker to a lighter. It's kind of hard to see. But again, we wanted a little bit more red. But there's 3 different colors in there, so I need 3 different cups. And those are actually going to have a little bit of gold shimmer, so I do need my gold shimmer out. A little bit of gold shimmer, some gold foil. Yeah, and then the moon and the feather. Okay. So we've got our 3 cups for that. I have my 2 pinks, and then the red I have sitting over here. Oh, but those I need foil in this. What am I thinking? Yes. So we need some gold shimmer, and we need some gold flake in these. And it shouldn't take very much because there's not going to be a ton of resin. I'll show you how I do some just shimmer. I'm not trying to color the resin this color. Dip, tap. Might even be more than I need. Dip, tap. And that's all of the color there that we need. All the shimmer. Set that off to the side, and then we're gonna add a little bit of gold flake. I don't think I need too much because again, it's not gonna take very much. Kind of want a set of the D2s now. Way cooler than the little steel cutouts you're using. Hey, you know, don't need to. I don't mean to knock the things that you're currently using. That sounds pretty cool too. But I don't know, if you have something custom that you want, feel free to hit me up, even if I don't have it in my shop. I'm always happy to get things figured out for folks. I honestly need to make more. I'm slowly amassing whatever they're called. I don't know, coins. Oh well, whatever the steel cutout things are called. I don't know. Yeah, I can't think of what it's called either. Oh, that's a piece of copper. I don't want that in here. Throw that in there. Can anybody else think of what those are called? It's like, yeah, they're not cool. All right. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what that's called too. Yeah, I can't think of what that's called. All right, so we've got our 3 little cups here, and then we'll add our liquid colorants after we add the resin, because that's round disc things. Yeah, okay. So the way I usually do things is I try to add my dry pigments and stuff to my cups before I pour my resin, and then I add my liquid ones after, just because I don't want to grab all these with my goopy hands. But the liquid ones I don't want to dry out. So I think that's all of that I need. Let me set this off to the side. I'm not going to put it away yet, just in case we end up needing more, but put that off to the side. I do want to coat those in, I'm just thinking. Yeah, I want to coat the moons in a little bit of UV resin, I think. Just to kind of keep them separate. I don't want them to be right up against the mold. In case I end up needing to sand that side for whatever reason. So let me grab my UV resin stuff. So let me see what we got. If I can grab them. Wish I had a clean spot on my, just a moment here. I will make a clean spot. That's the thing with silicone. Like, silicone is nice because things don't stick to it. Are you trying to say sword? And then misspelling it, or is it actually called that and I've just never heard of it before? No, the nice thing about silicone is that things don't stick to it, and the problem with silicone is that things stick to it. Which makes no sense, but like, you know, my molds are made out of silicone because the resin doesn't adhere to it, but things cling to silicone. So you end up with lots of dust and cat hair and all that sort of fun stuff. So let me just clear off a little section here of all that dust and cat hair and all of that sort of stuff. And I'm just going to coat these little moons here in a little bit of UV resin. Yeah, come on, moon. Huh. Okay, maybe that's not something that I swore. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. I've never heard of that before. Huh. This is just a little tiny like nail lamp that I got cheap on Amazon a long time ago. You can see all of my fancy UV resin tools here. Here's my fancy UV resin tools, a couple straight pins. Here's my UV resin. Oh, specifically the pieces that are punched out. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about metalworking to be able to tell you. Like, that seems familiar though, but I can't think of like specifically what it is. Swarf though, I've never heard. That one's new to me. Alright, I'm just kind of coating these in a little bit of resin. Oh, I should grab the stars over here too. And not the cat hair over here, apparently. The little tiny ones. Come on. No, not the feather. If I can get it off of my thingamajigger here. This one insists on being upside down. There we go. Cool. Finally got him. It's so goopy. I think I have a new bottle of UV resin. I think this one might be getting a little old or something. I've had it for quite a while. Just trying to get a glob though so that these don't end up sticking out funky because they're metal. I just want a little bit of a barrier. I'm not too worried about the little tiny stars. I don't think it's going to be an issue, but I don't think any of these are really going to be an issue, but it doesn't hurt to protect them a little bit. All right. Let me just bake that for a second. Let's see, while we're doing that, let's see. What else do I need? I think I've got pretty much everything. Oh, I do want to do I had a couple of other dice ideas, because I pour like 100 milliliters of resin to work with, and a full set of dice here takes about 30 milliliters. Blanks, maybe. But a full set of like a 7-piece set of dice takes about 30 milliliters of resin. A set of fate dice takes probably 20, we'll say, with everything here. Takes about 20 milliliters of resin. So that's 50 right there. That's only half of the amount of resin that I'm gonna be making. So I have enough to make another set of dice. I made a D20 a long while back that I called it like an iceberg D20, and that's because it was kind of made with just a whole bunch of like random extra, blank might be right, okay, made with a whole bunch of extra resin that I had just at the end of working with everything. And so it was like a dark blue and purple, and then I had like a white on the very top of it that kind of had started to sink down into that dark blue and purple, and it just looked really cool. So I want to try making a full set of those as some dice. It was so cool. Yeah, it was so cool. Yes, the iceberg was so cool. I just assume everything that you say now is a pun. I assume in that case that it was actually supposed to be a pun, but I just assume everything you say now is a pun. Anyway, I'm flipping these over, and I'm gonna run them under the light one last time just in case there's any. Is it a pun? Well, I'm assuming the iceberg was cool, as in it was cold, but also cool as in I liked them. Yeah, I'm gonna try doing that again as a full set because I think that'd be cool. I was also thinking of doing a set that was like browns and greens, like foresty kind of colors, because I don't know if I've ever done a sort of foresty set, but I don't think I would have enough resin. Oh, blanks. Oh, whoops. Okay. Hey, you know, we get people in here every once in a while that English is not their first language. I try not to assume. Okay, blanks sounds familiar, so okay. That would make sense. Anyways, where was I going with this? Oh, yeah, I was thinking of doing a set that had those foresty colors, but I don't think I'm gonna have enough resin to do. Oh no, you're good. I just can't remember what I am thinking from one moment to the next. Believe me, if you stick around long enough, you will realize that I do not remember what I said 5 seconds ago. Yeah. Speaking of what I said 5 seconds ago, what was I saying? Oh, yes, I am like a goldfish. That's unfortunately accurate. No, I had 2 different ideas for sets of dice tonight, but I don't think I'm gonna have enough resin to do 2 7-piece sets. Yeah, I'd be cutting it rather close. I could do one of them as a set of fate dice or D6 set. I was thinking of doing that with the foresty colors. And then I kind of realized that like all of the fate dice that I have in my 2 sand boxes back here, the phone lags less. I found that too. Like I'll be watching like Critical Role on Thursday nights, and then I'll be watching it at my computer, and then I'll want to get up to go grab something from the kitchen or something, and it's at like a slightly different spot. Yeah, you're good. I know that there's a little bit of a delay. My brain is just also in a little bit of a delay. But yeah, so I was debating doing the foresty colors for a set of like fate dice or something, and then I realized that like all of the fate dice that I have in my 2 sand boxes back here behind me, they're all green. They're all various shades of like green. I'm like, okay, I need to do something other than green fate dice. So I'm gonna probably do that on Saturday or something instead. Try those some other time. Oh, there's a ton of delay on the computer? Oh wow. There we go. Is there anything else that I need to coat in resin? I think we're okay. The skulls I'm not too worried about. Oh, the sound. You know, it's never a good sign when the sound is better on the phone. I feel like, I mean, I guess it depends on whether you're wearing headphones and stuff too. But that's I feel like that's a bad sign if the sound's better on the phone, because the phone also just makes things kind of tinny, in my experience. But also, I listen to a lot of things on my phone, because I always have something playing in the background. Yeah, so anyways, I'm not too worried about the skulls. Oops, just a second, did I knock something over? Yes, I did. Let me not knock things over. Yeah, alright. Just because of what they're made out of a little bit, if I end up having to sand some off, I can. I'd rather not. It kind of messes with things a little bit. But also, I'm not planning on putting these right up against the sides of the molds. I'll be placing them in the resin, and then they'll probably sink down to the bottom of the molds, because the polymer clay is slightly heavier than resin, just ever so slightly. Shouldn't affect the weighting or anything, really, but... See, pay off for the stupid laptop. Yeah, that's just unfortunate. But just because I'm not going to be pressing them against the side of the molds, I think they'll probably end up with a little bit of a buffer, so that should be fine. Just the material, like I said, too. Not as worried about the polymer clay. Let's see here. Although, to be fair, built-in laptop speakers are never great. I feel like that's just, yeah. If that's what you're using, I don't know. Okay. So yes, I want to do iceberg dice, I think, for these. I'm actually going to use some of this same purple. So the purple that I'm going to use in the percentile die over here, the really dark purple, I'm going to use some of that in these as well. And then I'm also going to use like a really dark blue. That's just going to be like a really dark translucent blue and really dark translucent purple. And then an opaque white. Actually, I think I want to pull out... Oh, I'm knocking things over. Well, at least it wasn't anything important. Borrowed. How old are your kids? Not, you don't have to answer that if you don't want to. I'm just wondering. Although at the same time, I was talking to same friends I was talking about earlier the other day about how it's just like, man, I feel like an adult now. Picking up the gold foil that I dropped on the floor, but otherwise we've got everything. Cause like, man, like looking back, it's like, wow, I had such terrible judgment in high school. 8 and 11, that makes sense. But like even in high school, I'm like, man, I was definitely a child. Like I had terrible sense of judgment in like high school. I feel so much older now. I see a high school student, I'm just like, oh, look at that child. Okay, so we're gonna use the dark purple that we're gonna be using over here, really dark blue, and then an opaque white, and I'm gonna use my white alcohol ink for that, and maybe try to do a little bit of a shimmer to the white. We'll do just a little bit of shimmer to the white. Your mother informed you a few days ago that you were pushing 40, which was rude, you thought. Oh wow, yeah, time goes by fast. I'm not quite there yet. I'm more pushing 30 than I am 40, but still. Man, it goes fast. Okay, so yes, do our white. And again, I need just a little bit of this pigment. Because I kind of just want to add a little bit of shimmer to this. Not like a ton. I'm gonna add a little bit of this. And this is more of a shine to it. And the thing we have over here is a little bit more of almost a sparkle to it. And a little bit of that as well. A little bit of shine, a little bit of sparkle. And this is the same sparkle we're going to use in the skull dice. Let's see here. Yeah, and that's going to be this. And then we have our dark blue. Which blue do I... Ah, here's the blue. I was like, I thought I pulled out a blue. I have my blue here. Oh, turning 37, which you do not think is pushing. Fair. Yeah, I'm 27 right now. So, I don't know. Just rude is your point. Oh, man. It is weird. It is weird for me to think about that I'm closer to 30 than I am to 20. Because it's just like, oh, I could have sworn I was just 20. The one, to be fair, it didn't really hit me until my brother turned 21, my younger brother. And I'm just like, oh man, my brother's so old now. That must mean I'm so old now. Okay, but yeah, we're going to do a mix of the blue and the black, just like we're going to do a mix of the purple and the black for the other one. That purple? Oh, yeah, I'm going to do a mix of the... You were also just 20. Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. So, for the skull ones, they're going to take 20 milliliters or so of resin. Let me grab a mixing cup here. And like I was saying, does not take very much to give it some shine. We're literally just gonna... I'll show you how we're gonna get our shine. Dip. And tap. Just a little tiny bit. And that should be pretty subtle. Alrighty. And we've got our red and our black are kind of out of the way. Oh, that does remind me though. I have finally made myself some keycap molds. I have some keycap molds now. What should I do in this keycap mold? Because I should have enough resin for that. Yeah, I've got a couple things that I'm gonna work on today. Yeah. No, I'm not trying to color it. I'm just trying to give it a little bit of like a shine to it. Sorry, I'm just making sure I have everything that I need here. Got our skull dice. Where did the little skull go that was with this? Oh, here it is. They're so small. Okay. Shiny tiny skull dice. That's fun to say. Yeah, but let's see. So for this keycap, I guess this keycap we might just use some leftover resin and see what happens. We'll just do that for now. That'll just be a dump mold for now. We'll see what we end up making. Oh, I could put a moon in it though. I could do a little thing with a little moon. Should I do here? Wait, we're gonna put a little moon and a little star. I think a little moon and a little star. Let's do a solid star. A solid star. Okay. And I'm not going to be sanding this, so I'm not too worried about that. No, a keycap is like a keyboard key. So you can like replace the keys on your keyboard depending on what kind of keyboard you have. There's like a whole group of people that are super into them. But you can get all sorts of just fancy, different shaped and different colored and different material keys for your keyboard. Alright, let me put that up to the side. Yeah, so we'll put that in there. Just making sure I have everything. Are you still lamenting your laptop? Is that what's happening over here? Just trying to make sure I have everything. I always feel like I'm forgetting something. I don't think, oh, I am forgetting something in this case. Forgetting my D2 for that. Okay. I think, let me make sure I've got all of my mixing cups. White, blue, purple. This isn't actually a mixing cup, that's just for stuff. That's gonna be clear. That's gonna be our red, purple. Okay, I think we've got, you're lamenting. The lament of the laptop. Okay, I think I've got everything where I need it. So we can pour some resin now. Let me get my safety equipment on. Move my couple things out of the way. 6 years ago, oh wow. That's the thing with like technology, is like it changes so quick. Technology, like as soon as you get anything, it's like outdated basically. All right, so I got my gloves. I'm gonna get my respirator on. So I'm gonna sound a little funky for the rest of the stream. I'll try to talk as clearly as possible, but I'm gonna be kind of muffled. You know, just gotta be safe. I think I need to clean the inside of my respirator. It's starting to smell a little funky. I think I've been wearing it too much. All right, let me grab a mixing cup here. Make sure there's nothing in it. Let me grab the resin. All right. So I'm using a 2-part resin. There's the resin and then there's a hardener. Usually it functions fine. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, I feel like my computer has buffering issues whenever I try to watch, like, sometimes when I try to watch live streams, it's just like, we're just going to skip weirdly around. Okay, I'm going to be going kind of quiet here for a second. I have realized over time, oh, there's so much cat hair here. I've realized over time that I cannot pour and talk at the same time. You can't measure and talk at the same time unless we want resin everywhere. So I will be right back. Feel free to chat amongst yourselves. Wait a second. Alright, so the resin that I use is 1-to-1 by volume. Different resins are different. I have one sitting over here that is 2-to-1 by weight. Different ones are different not percentages. Oh man, I just blanked on what it's called. Ratios, that's the word I'm looking for. You know what? Good choice on the Doritos. I get this. This is the hardener. Got that. Perfect, actually. Alright, I'm back. And I will be sitting here for a moment because it always takes a little bit of time to mix these together. There's kind of 3 main things that I feel like will affect the curing of the resin and make it so that it doesn't cure right. The first one is not getting the correct amounts of each part, so not getting the 1-to-1 ratio right. If you go too much of either one, it just won't cure right. The next one is just not mixing it completely. If I don't get it mixed up completely, ow, what's going on with my hand? My hand's cramping. That's always fun. But yeah, if this doesn't get mixed up completely, then the part A is not going to come in contact with part B and it's just not going to cure. And so you'll end up with sticky I can't talk. Sticky parts of whatever you're making. I've had that happen before too. Just didn't mix it quite right. And there's just like a little like streak on the outside of the piece that obviously did not get mixed in right. It's like, oh man. So yeah, we want to make sure that this gets mixed completely. The last thing actually is moisture. Resin does not like water. You know, that's why you need your flour, make sure your flours are dried. Oh wow, my hand just cramped. Really, that's really annoying. I guess we're going to try and do this with our offhand. How can I tell when something makes me? So right now, let's see if I can show you. You can kind of see how it's all streaky in there. You see all those streaks? There's kind of swirls and stuff in there. I'm basically going to mix this until it is clear, so I can see through it and that there's no more streaks at all. Because those streaks are where part A is coming into contact with part B. And so if you can see them, it means that there's enough of part A and part B next to each other, not mixed, to like have kind of different light refractions. So yeah, just want to get it mixed until there's no more of those streaks. And that can take a little bit of time here. So I'll oh yeah, well we can chat in the meantime. Let's see. What's new with me? I'm gonna go help my dad clean up his workspace tomorrow. He's done some like metalworking stuff in the past, like small metal casting and stuff. I don't know if he's gonna get back into that or not, but he's trying to clean out his shop. He's also a shop teacher, but that's oh yeah. I don't know. I enjoy working with resin, but I'm always happy to answer questions about it too. That's part of the fun of these streams. I really should probably just do that more. Just be like, here's exactly what I'm doing. I guess I've done that quite a few times at this point though, and I just forget. I'm just like, oh yeah, I've said that before. But you know, you never know. There's new folks here. Yeah, it takes a while. I have a pressure pot that these are going to go into, so I have it's originally for paint, and then it's been modified. I modified it, which is what a lot of dice makers do, I think. But basically, I will be putting this into a pot. So do not have the patience to wait for things to dry. Yeah. My problem is if things take more than one sitting. I don't know, I have the patience to like make things, but if it's like more than one layer and stuff, I'm just like, I'll get to that later. I never actually get it done. I need things that I can do in one sitting. With the pressure pot, I'm going to be putting these into a pot, and I'm going to be putting it on, like, adding a whole bunch of air to it until it's under pressure, about 40 psi. And I'll be leaving it there until it cures. No, someone would have to take them away until they're done, so you would be tempted to peek. Yeah, that's fair. I've definitely taken them out of the pressure pot maybe a little bit early before, which is always a bad idea. But yeah, so I put them in there for the 24 hours that it takes to cure. And it takes all of the air bubbles and it squishes them down really, really small, so you can't even see them. Which is part of the reason I'm not too worried about mixing this too much. I am mixing air into here. I don't want to mix a ton of air into here because it could still cause problems and stuff, but if I mix it a little bit extra, it's not going to be a problem. I can still see some streaks though, so this is not mixed completely yet. I do want to scrape the sides, scrape the bottom, make sure I don't have any of part A or part B just stuck there. Alright. Yeah, I don't know why, like, I'm a very impatient person. I don't know why I've ended up doing crafts that, like, you can't see like how they turned out until like 24 hours later. So I did soap for a while too, cold processed soap. And it's the same way where you go and you make it, and then you go and you unmold it and you cut it 24 hours later. It's just like, man, I want to know how it turned out. Maybe that's not why I like painting so much. That's probably one of my favorite things to do is painting. But, you know, that's nice because it's kind of immediate. You can see what is happening and how things are turning out as you go. But yeah, I don't know how I've ended up doing resin and soap and stuff that just requires you to wait before you know how it turned out. It is kind of fun though too. Like there's a certain amount of the whole seeing if it turned out thing would be extremely frustrating. I was gonna say it's kind of fun actually. Like there's a certain amount of like, for me, I can see how I see how it'd be frustrating for people too. I tend to approach every set of dice. Okay, have a good night, Omar. Thanks for stopping by. I was gonna say, I try to think of every set of dice that I make as kind of like an experiment. Like I not necessarily trying out something new necessarily, but at the same time I kind of am. I do some things where I have it down at this point where it's like I know how I'm making this, I can just make it, but I try to think of kind of every set of dice as like a new experiment, and then if it doesn't turn out how I wanted it to, then usually at least I still learned something, or I ended up with something maybe different from what I was originally intending, but maybe it still ended up cool. I don't know, it's kind of funny too. Every once in a while I think this is looking pretty good. Every once in a while I will end up with a set of dice that I think are the ugliest things ever. Every once in a while I'm just like, oh man, I do not like how these turned out at all. But then I'll like clean them up and I'll ink them and I'll be like, actually these aren't too bad. Or I'll still be like, these are still not my favorite, but you know, they might be someone else's favorite. It is always a bit of a disappointment when something just doesn't turn out. I'm going to be repouring a D10 tonight too that is going to have sprinkles in it. I made a little blank. Never had too many dice yet. True. But I have a little blank here that I made that's full of sprinkles. And we're going to be putting that into this D10 mold. And that's because the first one like had a giant air bubble in it. I think I have it down here. Yeah. Went to pull this out of the mold, and it just had like a giant, you can see there, it's just missing, it's like missing a chunk. You play one game once a month, you have like 12 sets of dice. I mean, I can't talk. To be fair, I tried to limit myself. My brother has a giant dice collection. It's kind of funny. I recently got into like the two things that my brother's been into forever. But my brother has a big dice collection. I tried to like limit myself so that I got one new set of dice for one new like long-term character that I was playing. That hasn't really worked out, but yeah. There's just so many. And now I'm making another one. Hey, you know, they're just so pretty and there's so many different kinds and colors and shapes and things that you can have in them. I don't know, they're just pretty. I do have a box of random like dice that need sanded that I'm just like, these are for me. And I don't know when the last time it was that I actually just kept some dice for me. It's been a while. But I do have a box over there that's just like, I'm going to keep these. And it's mostly ones that like the whole set didn't turn out that I'll end up keeping. Okay, I think that's good. I think that's all mixed completely. Looks like it. I mixed it a little bit extra. So, sure, cat. Let's start with the. You need tiny skull dice. So there. I was gonna say let's start with the skull dice. I think so. We're gonna do about 20 milliliters. Really, is it a fate dice? Is about like, I don't know, 16 milliliters or so. But since I'm going to be doing a keychain and an extra die, it's good to just go all the way to the 20. Yeah, good to do a little bit of extra. And just a little bit of shimmer in there. Ever so slight. Let's see if I can even see the shimmer in there. Yeah. It's a little bit bubbly. It won't be, but it's a little bit bubbly at the moment. There we go. Yeah, there's just the slightest amount of shimmer in there. That'll be nice. And the bubbles. I suggested the tiny skull dice initially. Did I? When did I do that? Oh man, did I? I don't remember. Again, I have a goldfish memory. Alright. Well, let's grab all of our tiny skulls and get these poured. So we want the red and we want the black. Let me grab. The way I'm probably going to do this is I'm going to kind of add like up to halfway with the clear. Oh good, yeah, it has just a little bit of shimmer in it, not very much at all. But I think that'll be nice. Oh, okay, cool. Like I said, goldfish memory. To be fair, I've kind of been wanting to make some skull dice for a while. That just sounded cool. Again, I like the kind of macabre and stuff like that. I'm just going to put a dot of red. Put kind of a dot in all of these. Some with more than others. And then I'm going to swirl it around a bit, but let's just get the red into them all. Let's get the black into them all. Because I'm going to... I need to figure out, so my plan, I have kind of a bunch of different sizes of skulls here. So I was thinking it might be cool to do like one that has the one big skull and some that has like 3 tiny skulls. Right, that's what it was. Oh yeah, because you got the teal and silver ones, right? Am I thinking of the correct set of dice? That's right. Yeah, okay. Man, I can remember things. Not really, but we'll pretend. Okay. These just kind of have a couple of spots of ink in them, but let's swirl that around a bit. And I'll show you how it's looking. And let's get some of the black ink. That one needs a little bit more resin in it. Oh, right. I'll put the good juju in here, of course. Of course. Okay, let me see if I can show you. These don't have any of the skulls in them yet, but see if I can get it so you can see the swirls. It does not want to see the swirls. There's so much glare, I think. There we go. You can kind of see the black and red swirls in there. Alright, let's get our skulls sorted out. So I have my one big one. And I'm going to put that, I think, put that in this one. And I'm going to put that one just by itself. I'm going to fill that up the rest of the way with some clear. So now that's kind of sitting in there. Yeah, I really like this red. Whoa, what was that? Oh, thanks for following, Nervous Cereal. Glad you could come hang out. And then I have like this slightly smaller one. Let's see if I can get this in here. And these are going to kind of sink to the bottom. I'm going to push this one down. And then I want like a slightly smaller one, I think with it. Not super small, but I'm going to put that one kind of off to the corner here a little bit. And then we can fill that up the rest of the way. Oh yeah, I also like asymmetry. You know, so I mean, that's just kind of the direction I went. I'm like, well, it's more fun if they're all different, because then it's like, I don't know, it makes it more fun to see each die. It's not like if you've seen one, you've seen it all kind of thing, which it could be. All right, let's see here. This one I'm going to put all the resin in, and then I'm going to set the skulls on top and let them sink to the bottom, and maybe kind of pull the color down with them. So I'm going to add a couple of like the small ones. I'm just going to see what happens. And I think we'll do 3 of the tiniest ones. See what happens there. That one I think has the most red. Hey, it's good to know though that we have the same sort of idea there. We're just both like, yes, asymmetry. Alright, and I'm going to do 2 in the last one. Alright. I'll fill that in as well. So I still have quite a bit of resin left, and that's purposeful. First, I'm going to set these off to the side for now. There's quite possibly some air trapped underneath the various... Oh, I need to fill this with some more alcohol. There's air trapped under the various skulls and stuff, so I want to give it a little bit of time for the air to travel to the surface. Fill this up. And while we do that, I can do the other things for this set. So, actually, this is a question for you. Do you want a crystal-shaped keychain, or would you like a different shape for the keychain? Well, since you're here, I can ask you. I have like a sphere. I have like kind of flat ones that I could do. I do think that the crystal might be kind of cool because the skull could be sinking into it, but I am all open to suggestions on that. The last die here, I like to do like a bonus die, but I like to make it so it doesn't match. Like it matches, but it's not the same as the others. So this one's just going to be the red and the black. It's not going to have any skulls in it. So it'll match, but sphere? Okay, we can do that. If I can find my sphere. Where's my sphere? Maybe I can do that. Oh, here it is. Alright. Perfect. A little bit of black. I do have other long keychains, like a spooky crystal ball. That's a good point. That's true. And then we're going to add our little bit of clear to that. Like I said, I like doing a bonus die that matches but is not the same as the regular ones. Not necessarily, anyways. Okay, let me swirl that up a little bit. Cool. So that one's going to be all red and black, which will be cool. Set that off to the side to cure, not cure, to let the air travel to the surface as well. I think I will. I am going to spritz these down. That's just to pop the air bubbles on the surface. This is a little bit of rubbing alcohol. It just kind of breaks the surface tension. Helps the air bubbles on the surface to pop. Alright, let's see how well I can do this. Sphere is always kind of a fun to try and fill. Let me add some red and some black now that we're about halfway up. Have some red, and then we'll do a little bit of black. And I'll see if I can show you these dice actually. Now that the air bubbles are starting to pop a little bit, they might be easier to show you. Okay, there's red and black. And I'm going to add a little bit more of the resin. I mean, I don't know. Like, I could probably add something to make it look like bubbles. And I can always just not put it in the pressure pot. But then they'd probably they'd end up like weighted all funky and stuff too, because the air bubbles are going to try and travel to the surface of the dice. And so you'd end up with the face that's on the top being lighter than the face that's on the bottom, because it has more air in it. I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I could probably make it look like there's air bubbles, but I don't know how well it would work for leaving actual air bubbles in it. Like, for dice at least. Yeah. So I'd probably use something else just to make it look like air bubbles. Oh, okay, so here a second. It is a nice thing that it's clear resin, because that means that the yes, there's a little bit of shimmer, but I'm just going to put clear on the lids. I don't really have that much left. Alright, perfect. So that's pretty much full. Let me put the skull in there. I'm like, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, look like blown glass. Oh, that'd be cool. Oh, I see what you're saying. Let me put the skull in here. Oh, I may have actually added too much resin. That's fine. I'll just put that. And I'm going to let that, it's probably going to sink to the bottom, like I said before, but. Alright, there's our little sphere. Put that off to the side as well. For now. Yeah, so what I was saying is that there's just not very much resin left here, and I'd like to put a little bit on the lids. For most of the dice, I put a little bit extra on the lids because I don't want air to get trapped in like the numbers and stuff. But for these, I just want a little bit of extra resin. Because, like I was saying with how the air bubbles are going to get squished down really, really small, there's all that space that those were occupying that suddenly now I need resin to fill in. And so I need a little bit of extra resin to fill in where all the bubbles were. And that's why I overfilled them a little bit too, the molds a little bit. It's just so there's a little bit of extra resin to fill in all of that space. Alright. Spritz these down again. It's kind of interesting because like I was saying, water will make it so that things don't cure right. But alcohol is just fine. I think that's, the alcohol inks and stuff work great. Alright, let me set these over here out of the way. I think, oh here, let me see if I can show you how they are looking. There's those. Once it's cured, moisture's fine, but the moisture will prevent it from curing. So I do wet sanding to sand them. And then actually I polish them. I have a tumbler, like a vibrating tumbler, that I put them in with some medium and some plastic polish, and I leave them there for like a week and a half. It takes a while. And that's how I mostly polish them. Oh, I forgot a little container for my clear. What's the gold? Yeah, I'm kind of excited. I think these are going to be cool. I do think this one ended up with a little bit more red and black than some of the others, but I think we'll be okay. Yeah, they're definitely not like super even because they all have different amounts and everything in them, but they all match, which is the important part. Okay, I forgot to do a little bit of gold foil for the D20. We don't want very much. Okay. So the D20. Man, I know how much resin each individual, like a set of dice takes, but it's harder for me to figure out for an individual die. So I think I need a little bit more than 5. A D6 takes a little bit less than 5 milliliters of resin, and the D20 takes more. Okay, cool. Yeah, well, I'll definitely be sending photos of them to probably tomorrow or the day after, depending on when I actually get them out of the molds, because I have to let them sit for 24 hours. let them cure for 24 hours. So it'll be, 9 o'clock for me, well, whatever time it is for you, I don't know, but it'll be 9 o'clock again for me, when I unmold them, at the earliest. But yeah, I'll send you pictures, of course, once they're out of the molds. You can make sure that they ended up how you want. Yeah, I think, so this is just me going off on dice making stuff again that's sort of unrelated. It's almost midnight there. Oh gosh. Well, you're welcome to hang out, but I am done, I think, with your dice for tonight. Just so you know, if you were just hanging out to see your dice being made, all I have left is to put the lids on and put them in the pressure pot. So, no pressure to stick around if you need to head to bed. Let's see here. Here's this. So, so anyways, I was gonna say, so I put them in the pressure pot, not a pressure pot. I sand them so that they're the right size, like shape and everything, get rid of all the rough edges. I usually polish them like a little bit so that they're still kind of matte. And then I put them in a tumbler for, man, it depends on like how fresh my tumbler medium is and all that sort of stuff, but I put them in the tumbler for, I don't know, like I said, a week and a half. Oh, okay, cool. Let's do this kind of the same way we did the other ones, actually. I'm going to fill this up about halfway, and I'm going to add the black. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, the tumbler. So I recently got myself a second tumbler, because, like I was saying, it takes like a week and a half, and I can do about 30 dice at a time, so that's only like, 4 sets of dice? Is that right? We'll say 7 times 4. That's 28. Yeah. So, I have a math degree. Yeah, that's definitely a little bit more black that time. Perfect. So it's only like 4 sets of dice that I can do at a time. And between like trying to make stuff for the shop and trying to do commissions and stuff, that's not really that many sets of dice in a month. So I got a second one recently. I'm kind of thinking I might want to get a third one. Yeah, that makes sense. Gotta get up early, take the kids to school and everything. Let's put this into this resin. Try to make sure that there's no air bubbles and stuff. Okay, this is going to be kind of interesting because I'm going to try and place things where I want them to a certain extent, because I want to get these plants where I want them. Alright, so I think I need to add more resin. Oh, take you to school too. Oh, that's fair, that's fair. Yeah, I am so we'll go back to, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this while to you or not. My life story, as it were. So I was working a desk job, up through, I quit in like 2019 so that I could go back to school full time, because I was going to school part time and working full time, and I was burnt out and I just couldn't get everything to line up. Couldn't get my schedules to line up. So I went back to school full time at the end of 2019, I think it was. And then I graduated in May of 2020, which, if you need a refresher on when that was right after the quarantine started. Oh, I might actually need some more resin here. That's fine. And just a little bit more resin. That's getting kind of warm. But yeah, it was right after the quarantine and everything started. So things were a little bit weird. I'm putting my flowers into the eye of this thing. I'm trying to get it to lie where I want it to. Yeah, I think that's good. Try and get that. How hopefully that kind of stays down. That's the goal there. Alright. So much younger. I'm 27, like I said, so I'm about 10 years younger than you. Which is, it's weird. I don't know, I've mentioned this before too. I don't know if I've mentioned it, probably on stream before, but everyone from the age of like 25 to 40 looks the same age to me now. Because it's just like, that's just the age range of my friends. Just like, I know people that are like ages 25 to 40. Oh, you're, okay, cool. Yeah, I kind of wondered if you were, but just thinking about school. Okay, cool, got that. Let's move on to this one. This is going to be the dark purple and the clear with a little bit of gold foil. Let me place the moon into the mold. Maybe. It doesn't stick to my tweezers because they're covered in resin. I've been debating, I was kind of debating if I wanted to apply for some para positions locally. I actually worked for the school district before I quit to go back to school. I was working in their IT department. Alright, let's see here. Oh, well, let's just use that. We're just going to use this one for our clear, actually. We'll add our gold and copper and stuff over there. Might as well. Since I don't need all of that. Why did I put that over there? Okay, just a second here. Let me figure out what all I'm grabbing off my tweezers here. Alright. Yeah, I'm just making a mess. Yeah. No, I've been debating if I want to apply for that. I'm trying to make the dice thing work. I'm really trying to make the dice thing work. I have some plans. I'm going to be changing a bunch of things. It doesn't pay well. No, but I mean, that's a good reason to do it. To be fair, I would probably try to be doing this and also that. I guess the nice thing about that is that I would have summers off and that sort of stuff, which would be nice. Oh, well, I bet that was more high stress. That sounds like it would be. Alright, let's add a couple black. Don't add too much. And then we're going to add some purple. Oh wait, I'm going to be using this color. I need more of this. I'm going to be using quite a bit of this color actually, because I'm going to be using it in those dice as well. So let me actually go up to probably 15, because we'll use about 5 in this, and then we'll use 10 in the, okay, yes. Yeah. Well, like I was saying, I'd probably try to do this, what I'm doing now with the dice and everything, and then also do that as kind of other, like, I don't know, so hopefully I'd have kind of 2 incomes, but I'm trying to avoid having to go back to work. Like I said, I had a desk job for 5-ish years, 5 or 6, and man, I really enjoy working for myself. I really enjoy working for myself. It's really nice. And to be fair, I worked a great spot. Yeah. No, I know. But I'm not making a living wage doing this yet either. But anyways, no, I had a desk job for a little bit more than 5 years probably. And parent educating does actually kind of appeal to me because it's not a desk job. It'd be actually interacting with people and stuff. And man, I'm not built for a desk job. I'm just not built for a desk job. Let's be real here. I don't really want to do a desk job again. No, I'm really enjoying working for myself. There's our purple. We're gonna fill that up about halfway, and then we're going to add our clear here. Yeah, definitely not a desk job yet. That's getting kind of warm. I wonder why that's getting so warm. I might actually want a little bit more clear in here. Where was I going with this? Yeah, but no, there's just, I don't know, there's so many little things that I
enjoy. It's just nice being able to make my own schedule and stuff too. And there's obviously stuff that I've kind of scheduled at this point, like I stream on Wednesday nights and Saturdays during the day. But I don't know, the flexibility is really nice. Also, I don't feel like I'm wasting anybody else's time if I am not, like, I'm only wasting my time if I'm not working on something. That's I don't know, I don't want to be wasting someone else's time. Alright, I've got a bunch of flowers here. Let's put those in. And those are going to float, but that's okay, I think, in this case. Oh, this one I wanted to add feathers, too. Oh, man. I've got all sorts of stuff to add to this. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to concentrate here to get these feathers in. Because I forgot about these, and they're going to be kind of, I think, not a pain necessarily, but I'm trying to make sure I get them in like the right spot so they're not overhanging everything. I'm trying to kind of push them down in there. I don't want too much, to be honest. I don't want them to be the only focus of these dice. So I think we'll call it good after I add this little one here. Okay. Ah, no, get in there. Stop sticking to my tweezers. No! But no, it's awesome that you have something that you enjoy doing. Quite honestly. That's always great. And even if this doesn't work out, hopefully I can find something that I enjoy doing. That's the main thing. But if I can make this work out, then I'm enjoying what I'm doing. Where did I put those? Alright. I think that's everything here. I might add a couple more flowers, but add another flower in there. We'll see how that turns out. Okay, I'm going to set that off to the side with our other stuff. Alright, we've got our dark purple here. Oh, yeah, that's going to be different, I bet. There's different needs there, I'm sure. So, but best of luck. Best of luck doing that. Okay. Alright, this is the one that's going to be the kind of reddish purple and have some foil and some feathers. Alright. Hopefully that's enough resin. Probably need just a little tiny bit more. Okay. Not quite that much. Hey, on the plus side, no more diapers. Excellent. We're working on with like the. Oh, I bet, yeah. That's not something I'm gonna have to do. Man, yeah, I don't know. It's like I'm not a parent, so I've never really had to deal with that. But I was just gonna say though, it's kind of funny. I don't want to equate having a pet with having kids, because kids are a lot of work. But it's kind of funny how like used to cleaning things up I've gotten with having cats. Like I'll have a cat throw up on the floor and I'll just be like, oh, okay, I'll go clean this up. And it's just kind of funny. It's just like, it used to be like, oh no, this is terrible and gross, but then it's like, alright, I'll go clean it up, that's fine. Ooh, excellent. I think I got to that red color that I wanted right away. That looks exactly like the red color that I wanted. See if I can show you. It looks almost more red on camera. It's kind of like a reddish, kind of a purplish red, which is perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Exactly what I wanted. Yeah, I bet. It's just like, it's got to be one of those things where it's like, ew, gross, and then you have to deal with it and you're just like, okay, whatever. You get used to it type thing. Okay, come on. Go into the mold. There we go. I got the moon where I wanted it. Alright. Cool. Got the moon where I wanted it. Let me add this. I really should have done a... Yeah, it is very red, but it's kind of a purpley red, which I think is what we're going for. The last one was just a little bit too purpley, was the note I got back on it. So this time we're leaning a little bit more red, but it is kind of a purpley red. The person wanted like a wine color, and I think this is closer. This is closer to what we were going for. Alright. Let me put a little bit on the lid here. I'll set this one off to the side with the others. And I've got a little bit of extra there. Let me set that up here out of the way. Okay. And now we are to the... You'd rather deal with diapers than customers? That's fair. That's fair. I don't know. I haven't really worked like customer service. I've only worked like IT, where I was interacting with other people that worked for the school district. But yeah, I don't know. I do like interacting with people. Yet another reason you close up shop. I don't know. I enjoy interacting with people. That's I don't know if it's my forte. I don't know if I'm the best at social interaction, just because it what's the word? It drains me a little bit. It's like, ah, yes, I must keep up a conversation and sound like a normal human. But no, I don't know. I'm a social person. I like interacting with people. Which isn't necessarily the same thing as being good at communication. That's something that I've had to work on. That was something that I had trouble with, I think, at my... Oh, yeah, no, that's fair. We'd get those every once in a while. They'd just be like, my problems are the most important. It's like, no, they're not. Your problems really don't. No. You gotta wait like everybody else. You're not the most important person in the room. I know you think you are, but... Okay. Okay, let me make sure I have colors here. So we're gonna do... how much of this do I want? I think we're gonna do the most of the darkest color. So we're gonna do that. And if I can get this one open. It's so crusted with like the color. Yeah, drop it that one. And then we're going to do our purple and red combo again. Ugh. This is how my workspace has ended up so messy. These inks, the ink gets everywhere. Yeah. Well, there's our newest addition to the mess on the table. Alright, I've got my purple though, instead are 2 drops of red. Somebody once told you that so-and-so could make what they wanted for cheaper. Yeah, basically, yeah. It's like, well, if they could make what you want, go get it from them. I don't know why you're telling me this. Let's grab this. Man, yeah. I luckily have not had any of that, I don't think. I don't know, everyone that I've interacted with has been pretty nice. This one might be a little bit too red. This might be a little bit too red. Yeah, just like I'm going to add a little bit more purple to this, but let's make sure it's mixed up completely. See, that's the thing with like handicrafts too. So, yeah. That's yeah. Pretty much, that'd be my response too. It'd be like, well, go get it from them. I'm happy to work with people to like get things how they want them, but like, you know, gotta put food on the table. That's what I was gonna say. It was like before I started making handmade dice, I went and looked up some handmade dice, just to like see like, oh, so what is this kind of thing. And I remember thinking, oh my goodness, these are so expensive. Mostly deal with geeks. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Also, I think the people that are coming to me want something specific, so they're usually willing to pay for the thing that they want that's specific. I don't know. But no, I remember before I started making handmade dice, I went and looked up some handmade dice, and I remember thinking, oh my gosh, these are so expensive. Why are these so expensive? And like now that I make handmade dice, I'm just like, oh, I know why these are so expensive. Because they just take a lot of time and energy to make. I was trying to get a little bit more foil. Come on. And it's kind of funny because I think rolling paper is yeah. You know, you don't. I don't know. I'm a bad judge of time, to be fair, but a lot of like arts and crafts and stuff, they just take a lot of time, and that's really what you're going to end up paying for if you're getting something for someone. And quite often, depending on what it is, you know, people are charging you less than they really should be. That's something that I've raised my prices over the year that I've been doing this. I've been selling for a little bit less than a year, but over the year or so that I've been doing this, I've slowly increased my prices a little bit because people are just like, your prices are too low. I'm like, oh, are they? And then I actually went and like figured out how long it takes me to make stuff. Why is this is like heating up more than usual, and it's getting very thick, and I don't know why. Like, it's warm in here. Same experience when we started making quilts. Your husband always asks why this stuff is so expensive. Yeah, he's paying for time. Yeah, it's one of those things that I don't know. I just didn't really think about was the time and stuff. And I think probably a lot of people that are trying to buy handmade goods don't necessarily think about the time either. If they haven't done something similar themselves. And that's, you know, I feel like that's something too. I feel like I see a lot of artists that try to support other artists. I think part of it is just like they know how much like time and everything it takes. Even if they don't work in the same craft and stuff, they're just like, yep. Let's go this way. Alright. Get all this resin in here. But yeah, I don't know, it's just kind of an interesting change in perspective, I guess. Having now actually made handmade dice. It's just like, oh, okay, I understand now. Oh man, that's so much darker. Man, this stuff got warm like super quick and now it's setting up. It's kind of annoying. Maybe I should have people who hand make things more. Well, yeah, because I realized the time and energy maybe that went into it. We'll see if this turns out. This might be too big of a difference between the colors. Also, that one didn't turn out. This one's turned out maybe too purple again. I might be remaking the D2. We'll see. And pink. Okay. Those out of the way. You don't have the skills to sculpt tiny skulls. Yeah, that's another thing too, actually. Is like you're also paying for the like skill, I guess. Like you're paying for I guess skill is the right word, or the training or stuff that people have gone through. to get where they're at. That's another thing to think about, I guess, when it comes to anything really. That applies to other things too. Like when you call a plumber, you know, it can be expensive to call a plumber, but also you're partially calling them because they are more knowledgeable on it than you are. At least for me, I'm definitely not knowledgeable on plumbing. Alright, so we're going to do about 10 milliliters of each color here, I think. We're going to do 10 milliliters of the blue, 10 milliliters of the purple, and then 10 milliliters of the white. And a couple drops of the blue, and a drop of the black. Maybe it is just really warm in here. I'm getting warm. And again, I did not grab a thing to stir this with. That works. Yeah, there we go. That's a nice dark blue. Perfect. See if I can make it so you can see. That's kind of hard to see on camera. Yeah, you can kind of see how that nice dark blue color. All right. So I'm going to do a mix of the dark blue and the dark purple in this up to like 2/3 of the dye. And then I'm going to be adding the white on top, which I haven't actually. Another 10 milliliters of this. Roughly 10 milliliters, doesn't have to be exact. Yeah, that's getting really thick. That's kind of annoying. Let's add our white ink. Yeah, it looks it is kind of almost black, but that was kind of on purpose too. I want it really dark, and then you'll be able to see the color with the white behind it. Is kind of the idea. That's the idea anyway. We'll see how it turns out. Man, I don't know why this resin got so warm, and it's making it so it sets up. I think maybe it's because I left it all in my my mixing cup instead of divvying it up like I usually do. I think maybe I just need to divvy things up sooner. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I do enjoy doing that sometimes. I don't know, the mismatched sets are definitely fun. Okay, just a second here. Not only is the resin getting warm, I'm getting warm. That's what this other commission set that I'm doing is a mismatched set with all sorts of, with the bird's skull and the purple and the pink and everything. That is not quite what I was going for. Come on. Yeah, I like doing sets like that. I do enjoy doing sets like that. I mean, if you ever need another commission in the future, that is an option. That is an option that I have. Doing mismatched sets. Just gonna add some purple and some blue. Man, this is. I'm grabbing pipettes. This is gonna be easier. Different kind of live stream here. Uh oh. I need to play some fancy stripping music. No damn well you're gonna ask me for more dice. Hey, I don't like to presume. I don't like to presume. There is no pressure from me. Hopefully you like what I make enough to want to come back. But I can't remember what it was. I had a joke with like my roommate in college at one point. Was it Enter the Gladiators maybe that we were joking was like her stripper song, which is the It is kind of funny to me that that's called Enter the Gladiators. Like that's just like the circus music, but it's called Enter the Gladiators. The title is so much more like epic than the song. Oh man, so frustrating that this got so thick. little bit more to here. Yeah, I'm definitely near. I'm glad that I'm not doing any other big sets. Let me pour some of this last little bit in here. See if I can get this one to go. This is the blank, not the blank, but the sprinkle D20. Yeah, that's the title of that song. It's not what you would expect it to be. Well, if you ever need to find it now, though, you know what to Google. You know what to Google if you ever need to find the circus music song. It's Enter the Gladiators. I think that's the right one. Pretty sure that's the right one. I don't know why it reminds me of this, but it reminds me of how, like, whenever I get pomp and circumstance stuck in my head, it is not the part that everybody else gets stuck in their head, or that everybody knows. It's because, like, everyone knows the ba da 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 da. Like, everyone knows that part. That's the part that's always played over and over again at graduation. But I always get, like, the beginning of pomp and circumstance stuck in my head. That's like dun 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 dun. That's the beginning of pomp and circumstance, and that's the part that I get stuck in my head. I think the Enter the Gladiators made me think of that. Man, it's been so long since I played my trombone. It's been like years since I played trombone. I should like get back into that. Yeah, I am at the end of my work time here. So I'm gonna try and get this done as quick as possible. Yeah, I didn't know there was more to pomp and circumstance. Yeah, that's what I get for being in high school band, is playing pomp and circumstance repeatedly at graduations. But the beginning is so much more fun than the these are embarrassing since you were also a band kid. It's okay, I won't tell anybody. To be fair, I feel like probably most other band kids have not thought about pomp and circumstance since high school. But every once in a while, the beginning of it just gets stuck in my head for some reason. Alright, let's fill these up more. These are going to be kind of messy, but that's okay. Unfortunately, I think this means that the white's not really going to sink like I was hoping it would, but that's okay. Yeah, I don't think these are going to end up how I was envisioning it originally, but, you know, they'll end up different, and probably also cool. Which is fun by me. Alright, I'm going to call that good on the blue. You know the Superman theme in Pocket Bell Cannon really well, so there you go. It evens out. Evens out just fine. What did you play in band? Now I'm curious. I played trombone, which I just said, but actually, you know, now that I think about it, that part of pomp and circumstance was not the trombone part either. I think it was like the woodwinds. I think we might have just been sitting there for that part. We played the ba-da-da-da-da-da part over and over again. That was our part. You played trumpet. Oh, okay, cool. A fellow brass player. I really should pull out my trombone again. I've been meaning to, and I just haven't. Yeah, I'm definitely near the end of my work time. It's so sticky. Let's press everything down again. Because brass, you know, of course, brass instruments are the best. So I'm just spraying that down. I don't like, this white is not opaque enough for me. I just broke that. Yeah, I'm at the end of my work time. So I'm gonna pour these. I'm gonna quickly get the lids on so that we can get these into the pressure pot. Because I think it's because I I left all of my stuff into the in my mixing cup instead of divvying it up at the very beginning into my little cups, and so it got warmer a lot more, and I just got a lot warmer, and so it started curing a lot faster. And so this is very warm resin, and it is also very, very thick resin because it's starting to cure quite a bit. It's funny, I was just saying earlier, if I pour it like that, I mean, not very well. Yeah, I'm at the end of my work time here. You can see how thick it is. It's almost stringy, yeah. So let me get all of this into the molds, and we'll cross our fingers that it turns out and there's not too much air in it. That's the real concern here, is that there's going to be too much air that gets caught in the really thick resin, and then it's not able to like it's big. Like if there's too much air, there won't be enough resin to kind of fill in the where the air bubbles are, and I'll end up with big gaps. So let's fingers crossed, and we'll hope for the best here. Yeah, yep. Man, it's kind of unfortunate. I was hoping to have a little bit more work time here. Apparently I need a bunch more on the D20 too. Yep. Sorry, I'm a little bit focused now because I'm trying to get this all in here before I need to get into the pressure pot. Alright. Yeah, why I get everything ready before I start. Yeah, this is absolutely the reason why. It is at least popping some of the air bubbles on top. Alright, let me get the lids on these other things. We'll let those sit for just half a second more. To be fair, these are probably doing better because they were in smaller, smaller amounts of resin, so they're probably not curing as much because they haven't gotten quite as warm. I think the heat, maybe outside, has affected it a little bit too. But all right, let's put these lids on. I'm just getting the lids onto the fate dice here. I have high hopes for these. I think they're gonna be cool. Let's get all of these going. There's our single one. There's a bubble here. It's so thick though. High hopes for this D20. That's one of the bird skull. Partially because I don't want to have to make another bird skull. I don't mind making them, but it's just like, oh no, not again. They're doing a lot of work. Like, I feel like they're cool, and to be fair, you know, it means that I have a bonus die here that has a bird skull in it, which is cool. But man, they're a lot of work. I'm just gonna put that on and hope for the best. This is the D10 with the insert in it. I'm gonna put something on top of that. This one I'm a little bit worried about. That one's a little bit thick. They look like a crime scene. They should hold that color. That's pretty true to color on those. Yeah, see this resin's not nearly as thick because it was done a little bit earlier. There's still quite a few air bubbles here. Yeah. So I have high hopes on those because the colors should stay like that. So I'm excited. Okay, got that. I should keep in mind that I need to. The dark red looks like blood. Yeah, it's a really good kind of blood red. I figured that would make sense with the skulls. It's a good blood red. Two. I'm definitely going to put something on top of this one too. Because I don't want to push down on these because I want there to be that extra resin in there. But I want there to be a little bit of weight on top of them just to kind of hold the lid in place. Okay. Let's spritz these all down again. Spritz all these down, whatever. Some combination of words. Spritz these down again. I'm gonna need to manually pop some bubbles here, I can tell. Yeah, this is not great. Yeah, I need to get these into the pressure pot 5 minutes ago. These ones I am going to kind of push down a little bit, just so that I can make sure that the lids stay down. These may not turn out. These may not turn out. This is the first time I think that I've ended up with my resin this solidified at the end here. But we'll find out, I guess. Even if they don't all turn out, you know, maybe I'll get a couple of them. I'll add them to my spare dice box. Do something fun with them later. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna get all these lids on. Yeah, it does make sense with a vampire. It's true. It's true. Makes sense for your character and the what are they called? The red court? Is the red court, I think you were talking about? Yeah, I know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping they do. I'm gonna try and I think put some stuff on top of them to try and put the lids in place. But yes, well, we'll see what happens. And if they don't turn out, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah. Oh man. Okay. I do still want to put some resin, I think, in these. This one I'm actually going to push the lid down on, so I feel like we can make that work. This one has like kind of sprue molds, sprue holes, so that air can escape and stuff. But it also means I can push down the lid and have a little bit of extra resin in there, and it'll pull from there. You want a character with potential to turn into a monster. Your last one was pretty low drama. Oh, that's fair. I feel like it's fun to play a high drama character for sure. I have like kind of 3 things that I try to have in like every D&D character they make, and like one of them is like a secret. It's just fun to play a character that has a secret. So because that always leads to some sort of drama. I played one that was working for the big bad once. That was really fun. Yeah, I had a ranger that worked for the Lich, and his goal was to try and lead everyone to the Lich. That was fun. Let's see. I had a character that was a gal that was looking for her girlfriend, but was disguised as a male knight. That one was also fun. She's a lot of fun to play, just because she is very over the top. She's a paladin. She's very over the top, like, yes, we shall go onwards into battle and save everyone. All the time. Oh man, a good rogue. Good rogue is fun. Okay, let's try that. Yeah, man. Let's just try a bonus. Put a spare D2 here. I was hoping to do some of these, but yeah, I had a rogue that I played for a little bit. I can't remember what campaign that was. It took place mostly in the Ender, but I played a rogue for a little bit that wore like bright primary colors and looked like a bard. And basically, my goal there was like there's kind of 2 ways to like the goal there was like, so one is still essentially a rogue because You like to be sneaky, sneaky. Fair, fair. No, but I played a rogue and they wore like a bard outfit, like bright colors. And the idea was that to like pickpocket someone, you can either do it without them noticing you, or make them notice something else. And so if you're acting all chummy, you can just get right up next to someone, throw your arm over their shoulder, and start chatting with them, and also, you know, maybe pick their pocket at the same time. So that was the idea for that rogue. But I don't know. I'd love to use it in like some sort of drama, something at some point. But this line, but there's like, I feel like there's two ways to hide information. Give no information, or give too much information. Yeah, so that's how close it matters. Yeah. The power, yeah, exactly. Just distraction. Now I have pomp and circumstance stuck in my head, just so you guys are aware. I do now have pomp and circumstance stuck in my head. Probably will for the rest of the evening. Let's see if I can... Yeah, that's not gonna work out well. Yeah, I think this resin's a lost cause. We're just gonna... Man, I don't usually have that. Usually, it's a-okay, but I think that resin's a lost cause. You're aware that I have pomp and circumstance stuck in my head? I keep humming it. Okay, fair. Or are you saying that the resin's a lost cause? You were aware of that? Because I feel like that's also valid. But I was hopeful. Let me see if I can just get this last little bit of some other resin just in place to maybe fall into these crystal shapes a little bit. I just need to make a few more crystals for a different order going on. I'm so close to being done with that. Yeah, this stuff is way too thick. Aware of the song, yeah, okay, yeah, that's fair. Alright, yeah. Man, I don't usually leave extra resin, but this stuff is just so thick. I don't think I'm going to be able to use it. This one's okay. This one was one of the early ones, which makes kind of backwards sense, but it makes sense. So we're just going to do that. Let me put, oops, this is the keychain. Let's put that on here. Yeah. Alright, so I'm probably going to call it for tonight. Yeah, it really is kind of a bummer about the resin. Like I said, usually I'm fine, but it heated up way too much, and didn't want to work for me. But yeah, so I'm gonna call it for tonight. I need to go get these in the pressure pot, so I can hopefully salvage the one set. But thank you for hanging out. I do stream every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and every Saturday at noon Pacific Standard Time. Feel free to come hang out on my Discord at some point in between if you wanna. Information is in my about. I would type it in again, but I'm a little sticky. Oh, I was gonna do those and I forgot. That's okay. But yeah, so same thing. Oh, I will for sure. Have a good night, and I will see you guys later.